Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 155. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer. Also feel the reason to say my name is Corey Spearman as well. For some unknown reason, my co-host, Beast from Northeast, Amy, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So, for some unknown reason, I feel like I made a really big mistake when starting my video game persona? Air quotes for persona. I don't think MC Fix is a persona. It's still who I am, just amped up. But yeah, now the longer I'm getting into it and the more important emails and the more important things that are going on, I'm like, maybe I should have just been Corey Spearman. Maybe that should have just been me. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, I get that.
Like, I get that there's other Ninja and there's FaZe and there's a ton of other people with their online persona names, don't get me wrong. But for what I'm trying to do, which I'm still trying to figure out, like, again, it's weird. Yeah, it's just a super strange one. Super strange. But yeah, nonetheless, I am MC Fixer, your host this week. I hope we're all doing fantastic. This is My Xbox and Me, your weekly Xbox podcast, episode 155. You can find us and get us early on patreon.com/mcfixer. Don't forget to go subscribe on both the YouTube channels, youtube.com/myxboxandme for clip outs each week of this podcast. Or if you want it all as one big video, head over to youtube.com/mcfixer. Don't care about video and just want to hear our voices? Head over to SoundCloud, My Xbox and Me, iTunes, My Xbox and Me, and of course Google Play. I'm pretty sure we're out there on some other places. Email in and let us know if we are. We go live every Friday. We never miss a week, unlike other podcasts. I'm taking shots at the Reddit podcast right now.
Nice.
I saw that they missed a week this week.
Guys.
And I'm like, yeah, got him. We got him. Yeah.
Come on.
I love you, Ross. I love you. If you still listen, I don't think you do, but anyone that does listen to both, me and Ross are friends, personal friends. It's a joke, but got him. Yeah, we done him again. Exactly. Headshot. Boom. Headshot. Amy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm cold.
Good.
It's very cold. It suddenly just got really cold up here.
Yeah, it's really sunny here.
No, nice.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So maybe it'll come to you, or is it past you?
It probably
Is that how it
passed
works?
us. I think, it can come in any direction, right? Like,
I mean, I'm pretty sure it comes from above, but yeah, sure, whatever. What's new out there in the life? How are you finding this this period of the gaming world right now?
yeah, it's a good job I've got one of those beds that has like drawers underneath it, because otherwise I'd probably just crawl under it and cry and never come out.
Yeah, we'll get into. Well, let's go straight into what's in our box, because that's where we do most of our game chatter anyway. So what have we both been playing? I'll start off real quick. I'm still grinding for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I've been watching.
And yeah, it's so I had the game early. I played a large portion of it early. Did put up my my review in progress type thing. Still stand by everything I said, but didn't see the length in which this game is. I am 45 hours in.
Wowzers.
Yeah, about 45 hours in, must be. Really enjoying the game, loving it. It is a ton of fun. Still stand by it. It's my favourite Assassin's Creed game from a sheer gameplay standpoint. I do think it's a little long in the tooth with the way they've done progression. But it's hard. It's really hard. If you're asking you're not asking, I'm talking, but if you're asking the MC Fixer's opinion, I don't. I think it's a great game with a great progression system, with a long drawn out story, with great side quests, with a fantastic world that's been built there, in my opinion. But with Red Dead coming next week, everyone is just trying to sprint to the end of this game. And the problem is, the game wasn't created in that purpose. So I feel like reviewers have done a great job of explaining what this game is and the progression system and stuff like that, and how it doesn't feel long in the tooth because they played it and enjoyed it, where non-reviewers and influencers and people like that, such as myself, I would say, are a bit more like, fucking hell, this game's long. Jeez, it's a great game, but jeez, I've got Red Dead next week. Good, and I just feel like we're all complaining like big babies, if I'm being honest with you. If I'm being genuinely honest,
too much of this game.
There's too... Yeah, there's too much game. There's too much to do. The world's too big. It's like, are you kidding me? I remember when I used to buy games and they'd be over in 6 hours, and I'd be like, guess I'm playing it again. Resident Evil 2, for instance.
Yeah, remember when we used to replay it? Remember there weren't enough games, so we used to replay them.
Can you imagine?
I can't. I can't.
That's not even a thing, though. Wow. Do you know what? Wow. What was the last game? Obviously, I replayed the Resident Evil games very frequent. Metal Gear Solid. What was the last game you replayed?
I don't know. Yeah, it was so long ago. It was probably Alan Wake.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I replayed it when it came out on PC.
Got ya. Yeah, I don't replay games. Like, that's just not something I do. I think it's very much we're in the industry of where on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Opinion, on to the next thing. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, so I've been grinding that Assassin's Creed. Just grinding through that. When I say grind, again, grind's not a bad thing. I'm enjoying the grind. I love the game. But grinding through that and having a ton of fun with that. What about you? What have you been playing?
Yeah, I played still a bit more of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I was having real trouble because I said this in a video I put up on my channel. I had like almost two opinions of the game, where sometimes I would sit down and play it and I'd be like, this is awesome, I love it, Assassin's Creed RPG, I'm all for it. And then other times I'd come away from like playing like a play session and just be like, damn, that was work. And like everything you said, I agree with 100%. The world's great, the gameplay is great, the combat, the stealth, but for me, it's the side quests. And maybe I'm just wasn't just finding the right side quests, but everything I got where it was like, oh, I'm a level or 2 levels below where I need to be to do the next main quest, which I was fucking love the main quest. And it was like, okay, I need to go and find some side quests, and go out, find the exclamation points, or like do the job board. And all the side quests I was getting was like, go here and kill 5 sharks, or go get my wood back from these people, or yeah,
you were doing. They weren't the side quests I was getting. I've not done many of those. So will you go into the message board all the time?
I was going to the message board a lot. There was
yeah, I didn't. No.
I was doing the exclamation points. Like I was just picking up side quests as I was because I knew I would need them. And one of the cool things that Assassin's Creed Odyssey does is the side quest levels up with you, so they're always relevant.
Yeah. Which I hate.
I actually really like that, because when I needed side quests, it meant I could just be like, oh, that one sounds interesting.
I love it from the way you've just explained it, which makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. It's just me being a little baby again. But I love being over-leveled and feeling like a fucking boss. And the problem is, I never feel like a boss in this game. Like, I've got to a part in the game where you go into an arena, you start fighting people, and one of them was level 22 or something like that, and I was level 30. I'm 35, I think, 34, 35, and I just destroyed this guy. And I was like, this is how the game's meant to feel. I'm meant to destroy everything in my goddamn way. But yeah, unfortunately, it does all level up with you. Even when you go back to old areas, they level up with you, and you're like, man, I just wanted to kick butt for a second, but no, I'm still got to fight, I've got to concentrate, I've got to use my health and abilities, and yeah. But yeah, no, I get what you mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up.
No, it's fine. Like, it really, like, when you say grind, you're enjoying the grind, and like, that's the thing. When you talk about grind, there's two ways you can talk about it. Like, you can be enjoying grinding, or you can not be enjoying grinding, and I really wasn't. Just because of the side quest I was picking up.
But how I didn't get to grind. I never had to grind the way you are talking, as early on as where you're at. Like, how many hours in are you roughly?
Oh, I know
you've stopped
12 or 13 hours.
And you already experienced some grind.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, I've got to put in like hours and hours of grind. It was literally just like, I need to pop off like 2 or 3 side quests at a time, and they are really short.
But you didn't enjoy the side quests.
Not at all. Not at all. Even like, there was a character I met called Odessa,
Oh, yeah.
I say character. There was a historical figure who was in the game called Odessa. Totally banged her. And
Of course.
she had side quests as well. And I thought, okay, maybe these are there's like different levels of side quests. So there's just the basic ones, and then there's like the character ones, which are going to have story. Yeah. And then I found her on the map, and she was like, oh, I've got a thing for you to do. And I was like, right, here we go. Can't wait, gonna get into this. And then she was like, can you just go down to the shop and get some medicine for my father? And I was like,
oh, yeah.
This for real?
Yeah.
They're sending me to the shop?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean in that regard. It sounds like you just really did hit bad.
I think part of it was just
quests.
Bad luck. I'd obviously read about the whole time saver boosters and progression whatnots.
I want to go on record as saying I think that's total bullshit. Like, what I will say is I said to my chat the other day, how many of you have considered doing it? And many of us, including myself, were like, yeah. I'll say from my point of view, the only reason I considered doing it was because I got the game given to me for review. That's the only reason. And the thing is that the one thing I never, ever, ever, ever want to lose touch with is the paying customer. That is something that I see across YouTube and in games media.
I see it all the time.
Too much. Where it's like, whether it's people saying they'll pay ridiculous amounts for games, which I'm sure you would if you've got the money, good for you. And that's not a pop at anyone, it's just my opinion. And stuff like that. But yeah, I got this game and I was like, oh, I would consider paying it. But I do think that I've heard that it will dramatically change the way I actually play the game, which is I will no longer explore. I will no longer, because I've already leveled up to the story level. And I think it's about £15, which isn't cheap either.
No,
considering that you've just paid, I didn't, but you've just paid £60 for £50, depending on wherever you got it from. £40, what edition you got. You just paid for the game. It's like, no, I don't think there's a problem with it being in there. But what I do have a problem with is people shaming it for being there either. It's an option.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a different opinion.
Well,
Please.
it's funny you said all of that because I actually did buy the booster. Not the
Oh, wow.
Not the £15 one. There's like 3. So the £15 one gives you a permanent XP and money boost.
Yeah.
And then you can buy each one individually. So you can buy a permanent XP and a permanent money boost. And I bought the XP boost based on the experience I was having, which was horrible. At times, this is the thing. I said this on my podcast last week. I don't hate Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I know I've said a lot of negative things about it on Twitter, but it's just because there's this one thing that's just dominating my mind. But
yeah, you're bad on Twitter though.
Yeah, well, Oh, he was good on Twitter.
Lots of people.
No one can be good at Twitter. But anyway, I bought the XP boost to see what that experience was like, and it did dramatically change the experience. But for me, it was better because I wasn't having to grind out on the shitty side quests that I was finding, and I guess not finding the good ones.
Yeah, I again, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Like, I had a total different experience to what you've had, which is just like the side quests that I've come up against, I've enjoyed. They've told decent stories. Some of them, like I said, have had me very emotional. Unfortunately, it seems like you haven't come across.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really cool in a way. Like we got the same game, and we've both had really different sort of experiences with it. And to me, I'm disappointed that I didn't get that experience that other people have talked to me about. But sometimes that's just how it works.
Dun, 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 dun. That's just the way it is. You don't know that song, do you?
And yes, don't ask me who it's by though. I've heard it.
Jeez. All right. Anything else you've been playing anyway?
I mean, Black Ops.
Oh, Blackout.
All the
Black Ops. So yeah, again, another weird game right now because it's like all I want to do is play Blackout mode, but I need to be playing Assassin's Creed. Mm-hmm. I've also got Starlink, and I've got this, and I've got that, and it's like I can't do it all. I really can't. I'm just one person. Which is crazy. But yeah, let's talk about Call of Duty a little bit. So how many hours in are you on that? And has that brought you away from Assassin's Creed?
That 100%.
Because it has a lot of people.
Just took me straight. Because obviously I wasn't heavily invested in Assassin's Creed anyway. And then Black Ops came out and it was just like, you're going to play this now. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm playing Black Ops now.
Here's a question for you. Do you think that you have like a really, really, really different opinion on games due to the fact that, and this is not a knock at you, but due to the fact that you rent games instead of buying them? So you don't then give them as long, if, I'm not saying that you should, and we've got a question about that later, so we don't need to go too deep into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you understand what I mean by that? Due to the fact that I know you got Assassin's Creed full review, like I did, later than what I did as well, which makes it 10 times harder because of the conversation's gone.
Yeah.
So
by the time you were talking about like 20 hours in, I was like, I'm just opening it for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you feel like you have different experiences due to the fact that you don't have to throw down, you choose not to, don't have to, £50 on a game or £40 on a game or something like that?
I think I try not to. I think it's entirely possible that I could, just because, again, I pay £30 a month for like the top pack rental package, and if you think about it, I spent £60 buying Black Ops. So that's like my monthly cost of like all the games, all the AAA games that I get in 1 month. It's like half the price of a new game. So I never really think about the price, or I could never really think about the price. But what I try to do is, based on the time, because I do my reviews, my impressions videos with like, I've played X amount, here's what I think. I always try to make sure I've hit enough of the game so that I've touched on, if not everything, at least a little bit, like at least that I've touched on most things, so I can understand like most of the game and how it works. Because this will probably come up when we talk about the Red Dead story later on. But like I can't, like you, I can't do it all. I only have so much time, and like I want to.
You got even less time than what I have.
Yeah.
Imagine I sit there and play games all day. Not quite.
Not quite. No, that's not
as
how it works at
everyone
all.
thinks. But yeah, I get what you say. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just it probably has at some point in some game that I've played informed that, but at the same time I try not to let it. So most of the time I think that it doesn't.
Cool, interesting. Sorry, back to Call of Duty anyway. People keep asking me my opinions on Call of Duty Black Ops. I can't give you an opinion on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 due to the fact that I haven't played Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I have played Call of Duty Blackout. Simple as. That is all that I've really played. I played like 2 games of multiplayer. It was fine. Again, I'm not the Call of Duty guy, don't get me wrong. But I am the Battle Royale guy. I do love Battle Royales, and we've talked about them for hours and hours and hours on end on this podcast. This is probably... the second best Battle Royale game out there. Due to the fact that, in my opinion and the way I've played it, not with it. It's really hard for this podcast, because PUBG is such a great game, but PUBG on Xbox is not a great game.
No, it's not.
But PUBG, the game, if you could just take the game and take it away from the Xbox and just look at, and I hate to be this guy as well, because I feel so scummy right now. The PC version of PUBG is so good, and I know, I'm sorry. But translating it over to console, they did not optimize it well. It's still not optimized. It's still not great. Call of Duty is all those things. It is optimized. It is polished. It is a AAA Battle Royale game.
Yep.
No beta. Pretty much that's the best way to say it. No early access, no beta.
They
Simple as
finished
that.
it, right? Like,
It's done.
they finished a game and then they put it out.
Yeah. It has everything that you want it to have, apart from, for me, it is so quick pace in battle. And there are little things that I have problems with, like the armor system. I hate the fact that if you get into a fight, you are losing your armor. Even if you're good. Like, or maybe not if you're brilliant, but if you're good. I'd say I'm above average at Call of Duty Blackout. Above average, is that fair? Maybe average, because I've only got 1 win. I get into the top 10 most times. So is that above average? What do you reckon?
Probably. I mean, what you got to remember is if you're jumping into a Blackout game with 100 people, you've got as a flat percentage, you got a 1% chance of winning.
Yeah.
So if you're in the top 10 more than 10% of the time, you're above average.
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's go above average then. So, but the one thing I hate is the fact that there is no headpiece armor to chest piece armor. Like, if you get into a battle, you are losing 9 times out of 10, I lose my armor, which is really hard because when you get into a battle with someone with armor, that's it. You're pretty much dead. That's how it feels like it is to me anyway. The game itself, the game mode itself, is fantastic. The map is great. There is so much variety across the map. I love the asylum with the zombies. I love that. I think that's such a smart move because that area alone adds a whole different dynamic to the rest of the map. Where it's like if you get like 10 people drop in there, you can sneak up behind people who are taking out zombies and take them out, and they don't even know you're coming. That's a ton of fun. Don't get me wrong. What about you? What do you think of it? What do you think of Blackout? Then we'll talk about PUBG because you've got more opinions than I have.
It's my favourite battle royale because it's everything I want PUBG to be.
Got you.
And most of it works.
Okay.
I like the pace of the combat. I don't like the armor system. This goes to both Blackout and Black Ops, like the multiplayer as well. The armor system, there's a lot of focus on it because it is such a game changer in terms of if you're having a fight. If you don't have armor and the guy you're fighting does have armor, you're at an immediate, very noticeable disadvantage.
Yes.
But
I never felt that with PUBG, and I never really felt it with Fortnite. I know you get shields, but I felt like I did enough damage. There was enough shields around constantly on Fortnite that you're picking up minis, you're picking up the big potion, you're picking up or whatever they're called. I know the Fortnite kids are probably gonna hate me right now, but whatever. PUBG, I never felt like that. It was like, okay, cool, there's a damage level 3 there. Cool, let me take that off them. Anytime I see armor is damage, I'm like, oh, there's no point in me even putting this on.
Yeah.
Because it's going to go in a matter of seconds. It's just so quick that it's just like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, I get that. But the big thing for me with Blackout is it's the Call of Duty, the first-person shooting mechanics, which we've talked about. We talk about it at the same time every year. It's like the best first-person shooting, or one of the best first-person shooting mechanics.
No, yeah, I'll give you the best.
In games. So to put that in a Blackout, in a battle royale experience, it works really well, and I love the map. Like you said, there's some great places to drop that are just fun on their own, like Asylum, like Lighthouse is another one. Where it's just like, even if you drop with just you and your squad, you're still having fun. Like you're trying to like loot Asylum while there's zombies all over the place.
Love the loot box that's in there as well. If you kill all the zombies as a loot box,
so fucking scary when you don't know it's cool. Don't know about it the first time. Just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I love the equipment that comes over from the multiplayer as well, like the grapple gun, the mesh mines, the perks that you can use that are like cooldown abilities. Like, oh my god, like they add so much to the, like literally the paranoia, which is a perk you can use, which it gives this whispering thing. If someone aims at you and they've got you in your sights, you'll hear this whisper, so you know someone's aiming at you, and that is literally saved my life so many times. I'm just standing on a building and all of a sudden all I hear is like, and I just drop to the deck and I see this shot go over my head. And it's just like, holy shit, that was an amazing moment.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't. The one thing I will say is the perks. The perk system is obviously there. It's one that I sort of forget to use quite often, which is probably why I'm not too good at the game, because you need to use them. There's a lot more to this game to learn for me. I'm still probably I must have about maybe 20 hours in Blackout, probably something like that. Maybe a little bit less. I never know. But yeah, like I said, I'm enjoying it. Let's move on from Blackout to Call of Duty as a whole.
Yeah.
Have you played Zombies? Because I've heard so many good things about it.
I'm not a zombies person. Like, I try it whenever it comes out, and I'm always like, it's not for me.
Yeah, I love Zombies. Zombies to me is so much fun. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. What about the multiplayer? Have you played much of that?
I'm at the moment 50-50 between Blackout and the multiplayer. Like, I keep.
So the multiplayer is that good then?
I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't really played much of a multiplayer in Call of Duty since probably Modern Warfare 2. Because I'm just not that person usually. But for some reason, like Black Ops 4's multiplayer, I'm all about it. Like, I think it's fucking awesome. Like, I love the operators. I love the way you get like the different characters and they have their different special abilities. Like, you got Nomad, who can put the mesh mines down, and you can call the attack dog, which is really overpowered. You can't fucking kill that thing. Like the guy with I don't know their names yet. The guy with the grapple gun. You've got the girl who uses the cluster grenade and has the grenade launcher. And just the loop of just I play control mostly, so it's the 2 points that you've got to capture, and then you'd switch over and you're defending. And just that loop of just doing that, and for some reason it's just grabbed me in a way that no other COD has for a long time.
Oh, that's dope. That's good. I'm glad you're having fun with it. Again, I've only played a tiny bit, and I played not enough to have an opinion. That's how little I've played, so yeah. Anything else that you played? Jesus, half an hour in and we're only what's in our box? Damn, it's a good show. Damn.
A couple of indie games. I've only played like about an hour of each of them, so I don't really have much to say on them. But probably
save that for next week.
Yeah. They're called At Sundown and Sinner Sacrifice for Redemption. I'll talk about them next week.
Cool. Yeah. Again, I do have Starlink. I haven't played it. It's installed and it's there, and I was like, I was gonna stream it. What day is it today? Friday? Yeah, I was going to stream today, and then I was like, you know what? I really need to push forward on Assassin's Creed, so no. And then I was like, I've had it loaded up maybe 6 times, where I'm like, I'm going to start this game. And I'm like, I better not. I really better not, just because.
Wow.
because I know what's going to happen. I played the game. I loved what I played. So, and it is a lot of fun. And people, if you check out reviews, everyone's loving the game. They're not loving the twist part, and then you don't need the twist part. But yeah, I love it personally from what I played in my preview. So I can't wait to get into it. But if we're being honest, let's move on. But if we're being honest, I'm not going to get to it due to the next story, which topic of the show this week, coming in at 26 minutes. Jesus Christ. Topic of the show this week, Red Dead Redemption 2's campaign is around 60 hours long. You'll be spending a long time with Arthur Morgan, it seems, as a new report says the game's story will be roughly 60 hours long. Vulture, following an interview with Rockstar's Dan Houser, reports that 5 hours of content were recently cut from Red Dead Redemption 2, which stood at 65 hours long. Just to go on record, not to go on record, just to say, that is 60 hours long, just the story, they're saying. That is not the open world stuff, that is not getting lost, that is just the story. Nah. The reason this is topic of the show, because I've been watching the internet, as I do very often, due to the part of it being part of my job, and I see people complaining about the fact that it's 60 hours long. I'm like, you can't win nowadays, I swear. Assassin's Creed's too big, this game's too big. Rockstar, man, I love your games, but 60 hours? I'm like, GTA was 45 hours. What were people expecting? What? How do you feel about this? 60 hours? I'm pumped. I can't wait.
As a person who reviews games, I mean, it hurts my soul. The thing is, when you talk about it's a 60-hour campaign, which is I think the sticking point. If it was just it's got 60 hours of content, let's call it, because I love it when we call games content. But if it's a 60-hour campaign, a lot of people don't have that much time to play games, and if Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to take, let's say, 120 hours of content, it's probably more than that, but yeah, it's probably 200 hours of content. That's a lot of time to invest, and not just the hours part. Then you look at that's going to take the average person weeks or months to
that's the whole
get
point.
Through.
That's what video games are, though. I think that's the one thing I think we forget is not everyone is like me and you. That we sit here and we play games and we got our spreadsheets of how we're going to get through all these games and we're going to rush through them and we're going to have an opinion and yada yada. Some people only buy 3 games a year. Some people only buy FIFA, Call of Duty, and Rockstar games usually are one of the 3 that get put on there. So for them, that's brilliant. They get to come home from... Probably shouldn't be playing it if you're at school, but you get to come home from school and you get to play the game and you get to play it for 2 hours, then you go back and then you do it again. And I remember being in that cycle, and then the weekend comes and you literally just bundle a ton of hours in and then rinse and repeat. Same thing when I was working, when I was back at McDonald's. I remember doing that so much, which was I'd get home from work, I'd take a nap because I was doing early shifts, and then boom, that's my gaming time. Back then I was Haley was at university or at work as well, working evening, so I had that bulk of time. You find a way to fit it in.
Yeah.
And I just find, as adults, which we all are, a lot of us are, and our audience skews way higher as well, so a lot of people listening are adults, we do complain about a lot of stuff that, like, really? I don't see why we're complaining. If you don't want to finish the game, don't finish it.
But that's the crux of the issue. It's difficult to get, because like we're adults. Again, this game should only really be played by adults because as far as I'm aware, it's an 18 rated game. But if you're only going into it, say you only have like a couple of hours here and there to play a game, and Red Dead Redemption 2's story is 60 hours long, and you're going in and then like maybe you can't play for a couple of days and then you jump back in, and then you get to that syndrome of shit, where was I? What's going on? Who's that guy? He was introduced 20 hours ago and I don't remember what was happening 20 hours ago because that was a month ago. Like, I can see that perspective as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love games, so for
Same.
me, it's I don't really. I see where you're coming from, but me, I'm someone that even if I worked a normal 9-to-5 job, which will be happening soon, a normal 9-to-5 job, and I wasn't in the position that I'm in at currently, I would still come home and see Haley and cook dinner and still do what I do. It would still be a 5-hour game session. It would still be a 6-hour game session. Like, it wouldn't change that.
Yeah.
And I want to experience Red Dead Redemption in all its glory. So for me, 60 hours is like, thank God. Like, I'm so happy that there's 60 hours there. It's from two different points of view, because you heard what I just said about Red Dead Redemption, where I'm like, about Assassin's Creed, sorry, where I'm like, geez, I've got to get through it. And then Red Dead, I'm not even the biggest Red Dead fan. Right?
Yeah.
But like, Red Dead Redemption to me isn't like the be-all and end-all. GTA is. That's my game. That's the game that, yes.
Yes, yeah.
But from everything that I've got you, but everything that I've heard about this game and how it's going to change open world games forever has got me so pumped.
Just to go on a tangent for a second, this is why I stopped reading and watching videos about Red Dead 2, because everybody's just more hype and more hype and more hype, and it's going to get to a point where it's like, it can't possibly be that good. Like, it's going to be amazing. What I'm saying is, it's going to if I keep reading stuff about how amazing and game-changing Red Dead Redemption 2 is, there's a chance I'm going to get it, and I'm just going to be like, yeah, okay.
Nah. I generally
It's happened
don't
to me
think
before.
so.
Like, Undertale was a prime one of that. Everyone started going on about how amazing Undertale was, and you know what? Undertale is amazing. But by the time I got to it, because I didn't get to it for a few weeks, I played it and I was just like, I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing ever.
I mean, the way that the previews come out for this game of like, it is going to change the way open world games are done, the way GTA 5 did, the way the world is living and breathing, I'm like, yeah, that alone. I mean, I'm hoping they can get me in with the story, but I don't care if they can't. I'm talking strictly gameplay.
Yeah.
And the way they're going to... Even if I don't care about the characters, I want to see what they do to make the characters interact with each other and stuff like that. Just games, video games. Damn it, I love it. I love it. I can't wait.
I mean, in my own personal opinion, the only other concern I had, and don't worry, I'm going to talk positively about it in a second. The only other concern I would have is 60 hours is a very long time for one story.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
And it's like, do you really have 60 hours of compelling, gripping narrative?
You got to assume no, right? There's got to be a ton of filler.
Got to be filler.
But it is Rockstar.
But it is Rockstar, which is why you got to give it the benefit of the doubt purely because it's Rockstar. And Red Dead, like for me, Red Dead Redemption was one of the best games I've ever played. And even that, I think it tailed off towards the end of the story as well. There is a chance it could be too long, just purely from do you have the story? Because the story's got to be a certain quality all the way through. Can it be a certain quality all the way through? It's very rare that you're going to get a 60-hour game with 60 hours worth of story that's that good all the way through. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. The only reason I would complain about the thing, and it's really tongue-in-cheek when I complain about the length of games or how many games are coming out, it's like, I've got like fucking 2 weeks after that, Hitman comes out. Like, I've got to try and get to these games. But no, like, I'm fine with it. Like, whatever. Like, I will smash Red Dead Redemption 2 because, as you say, when a game is long, I will find a way. Last year, Persona 5 was a 100-hour game, and I found a way to smash that because I had to, because I loved it.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, I don't want us all to be negative all the damn time.
You just fall into that trap sometimes.
Obviously, there is the news story about the Dan Houser interview about the 100-hour work weeks. I've not added that on this week's show, strictly because it is still coming out. Yeah. The story is still unfolding, and I feel like we don't need to add to it right now. My Xbox and me, excuse me, sorry, hit the mic. My Xbox and me doesn't need to add to it right now. Let's wait, let's sit back, let's wait. Rockstar have now just allowed their staff members to talk about their experiences on Twitter. Some mostly positive. There's a few there that have been like, yeah, I've had to do overtime and stuff like that. But I want to wait until we get the full story. Then we will have an opinion. So if you're wondering why that's been missed,
back in my pocket.
Yeah, if you're wondering why that's missed this week, that is why. So yes. Amy.
Yes.
Patreon producer this week is your boy Mike Lynch. Mike, thank you very much for supporting this show and keeping it on the air. Coming soon segment, what you got for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games coming out between October 19th and October whatever next Thursday is. Today, October 19th, the Friday, we've got 2 games. 1, Dark Souls Trilogy. If you like Dark Souls, the whole trilogy's coming out on Xbox. Yep.
Okay.
You're going to get the whole trilogy.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I've got to do that for a Patreon goal that we hit. Thanks for nothing, guys. So I'll be playing through either Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
Choose Bloodborne.
One of them from start to finish. I've played Bloodborne before, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're kind of cheating if you pick Bloodborne." And I'm like,
"You're not.
Am I?"
They're both incredibly difficult. But
yeah,
if I know you, and this is a test of our year-long relationship, do you prefer fast-paced games or really slow-paced games?
Fast-paced, yeah.
Pick Bloodborne. Trust me.
Yeah. We'll see. I might not get a choice in the matter.
Dark Souls 3 is faster paced, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's to be fair, people have been saying that. It's like, maybe you should start with Dark Souls 3. I'm like, man, that seems a bit weird. I've got 1 and I've got 3, so it's like, which one do I go with? I'm like,
there's Easter eggs and there's like nice bits where you get to revisit places from Dark Souls 1, but there's no like.
This is just about kicking my head in. That's what people.
That's what's going to happen. Like that's what happens to us all.
Great.
Also, October 19th, you got Soul Calibur 6.
Oh yeah, Bandai Namco. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I'm not a fighting game guy, so
me neither.
I followed that one super loosely.
It's like I knew it was coming, and I was always like, maybe I'll do something with it. Like, no, it's not happening. On October 23rd, the Fallout 76 beta starts.
Yeah, I've been on record on my stream saying it. I'm not sure if I said it last week, but yeah, I'm not getting it no more. I was super hype on it. I'm not getting it anymore. Unless my game share buys it, I'm not buying it. Yeah, I was super on it. I was super hyped for it. I loved Fallout 4. I loved what they were going for, multiplayer world. But from what I've seen from the previews, it doesn't look ready. It doesn't look like the game that I want it to be. The quest lines coming through computers, and it just doesn't. It sounds fun for about an hour, and then that's about it. I'm like, you know what? I'll have Red Dead. I'll probably won't ever finish Assassin's Creed. I'll have Call of Duty. I'll have FIFA. I'll have plenty of games. WWE. I'll have Dark Souls. There's so many games that I've missed. I need to go and play Celeste. I need to go Fallout 76. I think I'm going to leave
priority list.
I think I'm going to leave it. Yeah.
I'll be picking it up just because I do impressions and reviews. So I'll at least play it for that. It does sound a bit like Sea of Thieves, where I'm going to jump in with some people and I'm going to have a lot of fun for about 10 hours. And then,
if that,
I'm just going to be looking around going, is this it? Is this it?
Yeah. Not in a mean way either. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but it does very much come across that it seems super empty. And maybe from what they're just showing is super empty, but they're relying so heavily on the player-to-player interaction that I generally don't think that's a smart idea. Like, I'm someone that plays Rust on PC. Love the game. Think it's a fantastic game. I love the concept, which is you jump in, you jump on the server, you build up, you go and loot people. That's what I thought this was. And then they started coming out with, well, we don't want griefing, and we don't want this, and we don't. And I'm like, what's the game then? You just want me to kill kill enemies, and not kill NPC. There isn't any NPCs. It's just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good personally.
I mean, I won't be checking out the beta because it's a Bethesda game, so I don't want to put myself through that frustration. Also, coming
if someone gives me a code for the beta, I will play it. If not, I will not go out of my way to play it.
Well, if I get a code for the beta, it's all yours. Also coming out October 23rd, Paw Patrol on a roll. I appreciate the rhyme in the
good for
title.
Paw Patrol.
Good for Paw Patrol, and also the big one, the huge, massive big one on October 23rd, Just Dance 2019.
Bro, I didn't know that was coming out. I haven't had nothing come through. Yo, Ubi, where you at? We got a good relationship. Where you at? I'd totally stream that game. Me and Haley would totally play that game and stream it all day.
Ubi, get on the code. I want to see this
Ubi,
stream.
where you at?
Ubi,
let's make it happen. All right.
Hook your boy up.
Hook the boy up. I mean, thank you. Yeah. Shout out to Ubi, by the way. We haven't spoke about it yet, but I did an official Ubisoft stream on the official UK Rainbow Six channel. Which was
it was good. It
fantastic.
Was awesome.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They asked me to come back and do it again soon, so I'll be doing it again. I was super nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous. I'm used to streaming to my audience, and let me go on record real quick and saying thank you to everyone that was in chat, because you guys kept the chat moving, and it was you guys talking, and you guys joined me, and thank you, because otherwise it would have been 60 people just staring at me, not talking. And I was going to be like, okay, and then I've got to try and make that entertaining. So thank you anyone that showed up for that stream, even the lurkers. You helped boost the numbers. The numbers were pretty good, I don't know what that channel usually gets, but I know that for a community thing that was out of nowhere for them, first time ever, it seemed to have went well. Hello, anyone that come over, because there was a few that messaged me and stuff, and was there to check me out, so I appreciate them as well. But yeah, the official UK Rainbow Six Siege stream was fun. It was a lot of fun. How'd that do? Did you see it at all?
I saw bits and pieces of it. Obviously, I was busy
at work.
At work at my day job, but no, I was in and out, and yeah, it was good. It was entertaining. You were good.
It was so hard not to swear. I
couldn't even tell you what nervous. I know I picked up on the swearing thing, like, because I think Dan
swore, Mackie swore, and it was like, no one told me we couldn't swear. That wasn't like, but I was trying to make it very much not my usual, for fuck's sake. Yeah, and to be honest with you, I wanted to prove it to myself that I could do it, because I've obviously I'm me, and my Xbox is me 155. Come on, you know who the hell MC Fixer is. But I wanted to test myself in a professional manner to see if I could be a good host and not swear and still be entertaining, which apparently I was.
You did it.
So, yeah. So thank you to everyone that checked that out. Should we get into the news?
Jesus.
45 minutes in?
Yeah,
sure. Let's do it. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 opening weekend had more players than World War II or Black Ops 3. Call of Duty has more active players in the first 3 days than Call of Duty World War II or Black Ops 3, with sales reportedly surpassing 500 million. Just give me like $500,000, please. I'll take even £1,000 right now. I'm broke. Worldwide. According to the press release from Activision, the combined numbers of Black Ops 4 players across all 3 modes, competitive multiplayer, zombies, and blackout, competitive multiplayer, sorry, that was, has surpassed the Call of Duty World War II and Black Ops 3 single-player multiplayer and zombies mode. Black Ops 4 has reportedly set a franchise record for the most combined players, average hours played, and total numbers of hours played on current generation consoles in the first 3 days. It also received a series record high of Twitch viewership for Call of Duty opening weekend. That doesn't surprise us, does it, if we're being honest?
Not at all.
Blackout mode on its own was going to pull in people.
The hype train for this game was there for everybody to see.
It was, but it wasn't. I agree with you that it was for me, because I was like, yeah, I really do want this, and then decided very last minute to get it. But I don't think it's had any more hype than any other Call of Duty game. I don't feel like I hear people talking about it as much. Let's be honest, I'm not so much in those communities anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was. I didn't expect it to. I expected it to do this. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's Call of Duty.
I mean,
and the Blackout mode on its own was going to sell. So
I mean, from my perspective, like I didn't rent it. I know there was an issue with my rent and stuff. I posted about it online, but I bought it, and I know people who don't buy Call of Duty who have bought this one.
Okay.
So for me, like I don't know what goes on in Call of Duty communities and subreddits and whatnot, but for me personally, like there's people I know who don't buy COD who bought COD
for COD or for Blackout?
For Blackout, definitely for Blackout.
Interesting. Also, another story about Call of Duty. Black Ops 4 physical launch sales lowest Call of Duty has ever seen for a decade, but Black Ops 4 is Activision's biggest ever digital release, higher than any other Call of Duty or Destiny game to date. Digital sales grew year over year compared to last year's World War II, and it was the company's biggest digital launch on all 3 COD platforms. So here's the question. Here's the true question for y'all. Are we almost there? Are we almost at the digital future? When the biggest game, one of the biggest games, I should say, is down on physical and tremendously high on on digital. How do you think where are we in the industry right now for that?
I think we're getting there. I don't think it's right around the corner. I think there's still it's like things with like people's internet speeds in certain parts of our country, in certain parts of the world, to be perfectly honest. I mean, let's not forget we were talking about the 50 gigabyte day one patch last week, which was it's easy for me and you, but prohibitive for some people to download like 50 gigabytes of a game, which is basically the whole game. So I think we're close, but not really close to just everything just going all digital. Like I don't think you'll see a big AAA game like COD turning around within the next few years and going, yes, it's just a digital release. No,
I don't think that either. I agree, but it's just interesting to see the more
definitely
casual audience come over in and do it digitally.
It's so much easier, right?
I remember being at midnight launches with my brother-in-law for Call of Duty. Like, I can't... he wouldn't leave his house now. There's no chance. He wouldn't do it. It's like, I remember doing it for Destiny as well. And no, he wouldn't do it. There's no way. He wouldn't... No way. He's just like, well, why would I leave my house? I can get it here. It's preloaded. Everything's there. It's done.
I think that's a big advantage of it. It's preloaded, right? You can literally start playing it at midnight.
12.
It's basically a midnight launch all on its own.
Yeah, but just on your own.
But you can actually play it.
In front of a camera.
Go out in the rain.
Been there. I do feel weird about this Red Dead Redemption, to be fair. Like next, I remember going to GTA 5's midnight release. And
I went to the last... That was a long time ago. The last midnight release I went to was Resident Evil 5.
I did Resident Evil 5 as well.
It was quite funny. We got kicked out of the pub at 11 because it shut at 11. We wandered past game. The doors were already open, and we went, "Oh, can I just like pull my receipt out? Can I just pick it up? Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sorted."
What?
Yeah,
that didn't happen for me. I tell you, I sat. My mum's friend. I tell you, 'cause my mum doesn't drive. My mum's friend took me to an area. I was about to say the area, and everyone just know where my mum lives. No, don't do that. To an area, and it was like me and a bunch of, and I was younger, obviously. I don't know when that game came out, but I was definitely in sixth form, I think. So I was probably about 17, 16, 17, 14, 15. I don't know. Numbers, I don't know how they work. And I remember just being like, Are you guys here for the Resident Evil launch? Like, yeah, man! Like, super hyped. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I had a wedding the next day. I told this before. And I faked being sick at the wedding to come home and play Resident Evil 5. And then, and just being like, oh, okay, this game... I remember thinking that game was so good. I remember thinking, before I wasn't in an industry back then, let me tell you. And I thought that game was so good.
It's a decent co-op game. Like, that's how I played it. I had my friend with me. We sat down that night. We played it all the way through the night, side by side, couch co-op. I had a blast.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. Next news story. Battlefield 5 campaign story details revealed. In a series of tweets this morning, DICE detailed Battlefield 5's campaign dubbed War Stories, which drops players into France, England and Norway to fight for the Allied forces during World War II. More details are out there. If you want them, go to DICE's Twitter. There's some quotes and stuff, but I'll be honest with you, after that beta, I was so, yes, I want this. This is great. I can't wait to play this. And now I'm like, if it doesn't, it's not going to launch with their Battle Royale. And I'm like, and their Battle Royale could be really good, let me tell you. Because I like Call of Duty Blackout. I tell you, like I just said, we've been through that. Got a ton of personality, like it. But I prefer a slower paced game. So for me, Battlefield 5's Battle Royale could be fantastic. Will I ever get to it? I don't know. Because for the pure fact that it doesn't look like it's going to come at launch, due to the fact that they are prioritizing the single player, which more power to them. I am not against that. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I don't think I care about this game anymore as much as
it makes sense. It makes sense for them to prioritize the single player because that's the thing that COD doesn't have.
Yeah.
Whereas if they prioritize Battle Royale and it doesn't launch well, it's like they're fighting against the same thing. I'm still looking forward to Battlefield 5. I love the idea of the war stories. I loved it in Battlefield 1. So, and I really like World War 2 as just a setting for stories. So,
got you. Fair enough. Next one is, how do you pronounce this studio's name?
Aurora 44.
Aurora. Aurora 44 Games tweeted out that I think this is a timed exclusive, Ashen. Ashen will release in 2018, so it is still coming out this year. It will be launching on PC and Xbox One at the console exclusive before someone comes at me. Jesus. At the same time later this year, and it will be available via Game Pass to release too. Which is fantastic. Because I really like the look of this game. Yep. Would I have got to it if it wasn't in Game Pass? Nope. I don't think so. But the fact that it is in Game Pass is like, yep, I am totally in and can't wait. Next one is a quick one. Sean Bean will die once more in Hitman 2. Look at the smile on your face. Look at the smile on your face.
Sean Bean, isn't it? I pissed myself when I saw this.
Actor Sean Bean will voice a character Mark Fabab in Hitman 2's first exclusive target mission, Killing the Undead. This means Bean is portraying yet another character who is doomed to die, as he's been an acting professional a lot in his life. Quote, "It's a talent of all sorts, I suppose," says Bean and Mark Faber in a tongue-in-cheek live-action video. I heard that the live-action video is really good.
I actually haven't watched
apparently.
it.
I've not seen it either. But yeah, nonetheless, Sean Bean is in Hitman 2. Congratulations to IO and Sumo Digital, who have both been working on that one. People keep forgetting the Sumo part, so I feel really bad. I've got friends at Sumo that are working on it, and it got announced, and everyone was like, yeah, okay, cool.
It's cool, man. That's really cool for them.
Shout out to Abby. Keep doing your thing, girl. Keep doing your thing. Next up, Bandai Namco is to distribute Cyberpunk 2077 across Europe. And I'm not going to lie, deep down inside, I was a little upset.
Why?
Not because I hate Bandai Namco, just for the pure fact that I don't have a relationship with them yet.
I'm on their email list, but they never actually reply to any of my emails.
Me too. Bandai Namco has announced that it's weird. You know what? We need to do it. You know what? I've got a video idea for us. Okay. Bandai Namco has announced that it will distribute CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 across several European markets, and the partnership includes 24 countries in total. They did list the countries, but the only one you need to worry about is England, and it is happening. So boom.
They did this
Our
with
American
The Witcher
audience
3 as
don't
well.
care. Sorry, say that again?
They did this with The Witcher 3 as well.
Did they? Did Bandai do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In
I didn't know
certain countries.
Gotcha. Interesting. Last few bits. Classic Valve titles now enhanced on the Xbox 360 backwards compatible. We have got Half-Life 2, the Orange Box, Portal still alive, Left 4 Dead, and Left 4 Dead 2, all now backwards compatible and enhanced.
I just read
How's
the
that make you
story. That's fine. Left 4 Dead, I love it, but I'm not going to play it on my Xbox. Probably.
See,
so.
I'm tempted, I'm tempted to get, because Left 4 Dead was the first game I ever taught Haley to play before we were dating. Yeah, Left 4 Dead, because it was that game of pick up and play. It was.
Oh, it was so great to play.
Make yourself get across the map and heal me. That was her job. I taught her Left 4 Dead and Borderlands and FIFA. They were the first games we played together co-op. And now look at us, 8 years almost in love. So there's the story to your life. If you want a girlfriend or boyfriend, just teach them Left 4 Dead and they'll stay with you forever.
Couples that game together stay together.
That's not true at all. She hates being the medic now. Now she's learnt games. She's like, I'm not playing medic, I swear. Shh. Haley, please. Play medic. Stop crying. It's okay. Next one. 5 titles leaving Game Pass at the end of October. This one makes me sad. Lucky I owned it already.
What the look on my face was.
Lucky I owned it already. Oddworld, New and Tasty is leaving. Resident Evil. Damn it! Is leaving. Skyfall's Anniversaries and World of Van Helsing Death Trap are all leaving. And on the 360, Mega Man 9's leaving. So, there
just
you go.
Mega Man 9.
Yeah, on the 360 side. Games with Gold this month, you've got Hitman Blood Money, Overcooked, Victor Van Ranner, and Stuntman Ignition. Let's get to the emails. If you want to email in to my Xbox and me podcast@gmail.com. Let me say something real quick to Danone. I'm going to give this one to Danone. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'd really love you to go in detail of how the whole opportunity come about Ubisoft." And I said, "Why don't you email in on the podcast and I'll do that?" Do you think that guy emailed in?
Hell no. That guy didn't email in.
Hell no. So F him. And it says, "Oh, hi, Amy and Fixer." No, it says Fix. Sorry. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the whole PSN name change thing. I believe I saw the pricing was $10 for non-PS Plus users and $5 for PS Plus users. Do you think it is right to charge different tiers of pricing depending if you have their online network stuff or not? I know Xbox Live, you can change your name for like $10. So do you think Microsoft will change their pricing to match Sony or not? Thank you for reading from Yami. I think this is a fantastic email. One that I'm glad someone emailed in, so thank you for doing such a thing. Here's the question. So the first thing is, do I agree with the tier system? Yes, I do agree with the tier system. If you are already paying for Live or PSN, let's talk about it from an Xbox point of view. So if you're paying for Xbox Live and you've got Game Pass as well, let's say, why shouldn't you get a reduced amount of charge on your name changes? I don't see the problem with it. Name changes cost about £8 in the UK, and that's why I've not changed mine, strictly because I don't think it's worth £8. I mean, I'm fine with XoB Fixer. I've been XoB Fixer since I was about 12. So
you didn't have a super embarrassing gamertag.
I mean, yeah, I used to be XXX Fixer XXX.
See, that
just like Haley. Haley used to be XXX Haley XXX. So yeah, I know she's paid. Haley's paid for it. My fiance, she paid to change her name to the Haley Show. So good to her. Do not go send her messages or add her. Damn, I should have thought that one through before I put it out there.
You might want to just beep it. Yeah, shit.
No, our audience is good. We should be fine. I mean, you can add her, but she probably won't add you back, I'll be honest with you. She's just finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey, though. So proud of her.
Nice.
So, not Odyssey, Origins. Nah, she's going on to Odyssey. Imagine she beat Odyssey before me. I'd be like, yo.
That would be, yes.
Yo, you need to chill out, girl.
You'll be paying Red Dead too much to care.
Yeah, so, but yeah, no, I totally agree with the tier system. I think you should value your customers that are already paying in to Gold. And I'd love it. If it was a $5, I'd probably do it more than the fact that it's £8, just because a $5 to me is throwaway on Chicken Shop, and £8 is almost a tenner, so no thanks. That's how my mind works.
Quick maths.
Generally. Yeah, quick maths, exactly. What about you? How do you feel about it?
I've never felt the need to change my name, to be honest. But
you really
no,
should.
You're absolutely right.
Your branding is all over the place.
It's not as bad as Mike Lynch, but
oh, jeez, yeah, you're right.
Shit, I forgot my point now. Yes, it's a good idea. Yes, it's a good idea. To give that reduction for like people who subscribe to Xbox Live because they're your loyal customers, right? Like they're already paying you money. Like give them a reduction.
Yeah, and the other thing I will say about PlayStation's whole system is it still seems a little bit convoluted and still a little bit broken. The fact that it doesn't fully work out of the gate and it's going into beta and yada yada yada.
And you'll only work on
some games don't work with it, and it's like, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. So they need to offer it cheaper than Xbox, especially on the PS Plus side. But yeah, whatever. I'm not worried about it either way. Next email, we got Fixer, Amy, Crash. Enter guest host here, possibly. Moody. No Moody. No Crash. Crash just comes in when I feel like Crash can come in. We're actually bringing back the From the Gamers podcast, so I think I'm going to make Crash my co-host on that, where we talk about all games, not just Xbox. So if you're interested in that, that should be coming back on youtube.com/myxbox and me. MC Fixer, sorry. Don't go my Xbox. We can. Subscribe there, turn the bell on and all that stuff. I saw a tweet from Amy saying she's not feeling Assassin's Creed after 7 hours. And I have heard a few people tweeting Assassin's Creed isn't great until 10 hours. Is that a little bit long to slog through a game to get to the good stuff? Call me old-fashioned, but 7 hours or more into a game, I wanted to be reaching the boss battle, or at least feel like I'm enjoying the experience. Is 10 hours too long to get to the good stuff? From Matt, Gamertag, Little Smee, LIL space SMIY. So is 10 hours... So let's talk about it. So what is it you actually tweeted? Because I missed it.
Oh, God. It was right after I'd finished the stream. And I literally, it's what he says. I wasn't feeling it.
You just said you weren't feeling Assassin's Creed.
I just wasn't feeling it after like 7 hours. That's pretty much the whole tweet. It's not that I wasn't at the good stuff yet. It was like we talked about right at the beginning of the podcast. There was good stuff, but there was also the not so good stuff, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Okay. So 10 hours in, do you feel like... You're now already 10 hours in.
Yeah.
Do you don't feel like the game got better?
No, not really.
Yeah, I personally never had this experience again. I did think it was kind of weird that you didn't get the opening title sequence until 5 hours in.
That was a bit strange, yeah.
That was super strange once you get past that first island sort of thing. It's such a hard question to answer because it's game by game basis.
I mean,
do I think 10 hours too long before a game should get good? Yes, of course. A game should be good from the start. But this is something that I keep telling people. If you're not enjoying it, stop playing.
It's like you're not us. You're not like, you don't have to play it to have an opinion on it. Like, so you can do a podcast and a video. Like, you can just put the controller down and do something
and sell it back unless you got it digitally. I suppose I get it if you're digital. That's probably a little bit harder to swallow. But if you're physical, like I know a lot of people still are, just stop playing. Just go take it back. Just go in. You're gonna take a knock, but you did experience 5 hours of a game, so you should really take a knock because people they need it and stuff. Or sell it to a friend, or do whatever you choose to do at the end of the day. I do think that a game should be good before 10 hours. Yeah. I do think Assassin's Creed is good before 10 hours, though.
There's good stuff in there, like right from the word go.
Yeah. I can't think of another game apart from Assassin's Creed 3 that I heard. I never played it, so I don't really have a full solid opinion on it, obviously. But I heard that had like a ridiculously long tutorial process and stuff like that. I can't remember the last game that I played that I didn't enjoy. Because there's so much out there now, and I know what I like. I don't know. 10 hours is too long to wait before a game should get good, yes.
I think most games when you're playing them, like even if you're enjoying them from the very second you start playing, they're going to feel better after 10 hours because you're into the game, you learned the mechanics, you've learned how it works, the story's probably getting good, stuff like that. I went on a bit of a rant on my Twitch when someone was talking to me about this, where basically... because there was a whole news article by Polygon that kicked off my thinking on it, and that if like 10 hours is too long to get to the good stuff, like
yes,
if a game doesn't get going within the first hour, regardless of the game, unless it's like a an hour-long experience, obviously, then it needs to get... Basically, it needs to grab you in the first hour. It's like there's that whole line of thought where, like, a movie needs to grab you in the first 10 minutes. It doesn't need to be its best in that first hour. It needs to grab you in that first hour.
I understand what you're saying, and the reason I'm putting faces is more a case of, not that I think you're wrong, honestly, but you know what you're buying. Like, you most people, anyone listening to this podcast is way more well informed than anyone from a casual audience. So that's who I'm talking to. The more our people, the people listening to this, the people, which makes sense because you're the only ones going to hear it. You know what you're buying. You know what Assassin's Creed is. There are reviews out there. I put in a review out there before the game came out. Everybody else did who got the game early. Go and check the reviews. Yeah. You know if the game is good. In my review, I say to you, I'm 12 hours in. Yeah, so you know that I'm enjoying it 12 hours in. Like, from the start to finish. And I went through the gripes I have with the game, yeah. But the thing I will say, which you were saying about the first hour, you know whether the gameplay is good from the minute you touch it. The gameplay. I'm talking about the gameplay loop, which is AB, XB is the punching people. Do you understand what I mean? Like, know if you enjoyed that gameplay the moment you start.
Yeah. So and the thing is, when you did your video, if you went 12 hours in when you did your review in progress, and if you like had an issue where it was like, oh, the first 5 hours weren't so great, you would have mentioned it in your video.
I would have said it. I would have said it. Like, yeah, it just, for me, I agree. I understand Polygon's article as well. I read it as well. Or skim read it, I should say. Dyslexic read it. Where I understood what they were saying. Yes, it does open up more after 10 hours. Yes, and there is way more to do after 10 hours. And yes, the game gets a lot better after 10 hours. But that doesn't mean that it was bad in its first 10 hours. Which is, I think people are so caught up on headlines, and it's like, we all do it. I've had to do it for YouTube, and we'll do it more. Clickbait and stuff like that. It is one of those things that, to keep the industry, to keep us going. Unfortunately, people, I have to comment this, when I do titles for My Xbox and Me that are a little bit more controversial, the show does a lot better. When I do titles that is, what's this week? This week is Red Dead Redemption 60 hours long. We'll probably do our normal numbers. I think last week's episode was, whenever I do we care about, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Angry fix.
Yeah, it's like, that does so much better. So I get where you're coming from. I know we've gone off on a little bit of tangent here, Matt. But within the first, from a game, we're talking, games and films are so different. Because a film is only an hour and a half. 2 hours, 3 hours at max, if you're watching Lord of the Rings because you're a crazy person. Like, you know what you're getting with a game. They've put out gameplay trailers, they've put out trailers, they've put out this. There are tastemakers out there. There is previews, there is betas, you know what you are getting. Assassin's Creed, you knew what you were getting. I have said on this podcast for weeks that it's probably just going to be literally another Origins with a different setting. It is that, but with a lot more for me, which is what I said in my review. So yeah, I just 10 hours, yeah, I agree. 10 hours is too long for it to get good, but within the first hour, definitely, of a game, whether the gameplay is good. I can't tell if the story is good in that hour, but you can definitely tell but you can definitely tell if the gameplay is for you with an hour in, yes.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add on that?
No. Always check reviews or impressions or previews, but don't just check them all. Find the reviewers or the sites or the channels that vibe with you the most.
Exactly. You can't. No, you're right. Well, let's plug and get ourselves out here. Thank you everyone that emailed in. My Xbox and Me podcast@gmail.com. Appreciate you. Let's plug and get out of it. Amy, what you got to plug this week?
Twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. I'm probably a COD streamer at the moment until Red Dead comes out. So if you want to watch me suck a blackout, that's where you can find me.
Oh, okay, cool. You can find me on all social media at MC Fixer. The big one for me this week will be YouTube. YouTube.com/MC Fixer. Doing a lot more content over there. Had a meeting with Reese the other day about some bits and bobs. The thing I want to plug, if you're already subscribed, perfect. Please turn on the notification bell. Please. I've got literally 3,000 subscribers and I can barely scrape together 30 views because people don't even realise that I'm putting out content. So if you are someone that watches the content, enjoys the content, enjoys what it is I do here, please go and click the notification bell. I'm going to start putting more emphasis on it in the beginning of my videos because YouTube algorithm is terrible. YouTube is bad at notifying people, so you have to now click the bell. So yeah, if you can do that for me, I would appreciate it. Amy, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. And until next time, I will love you, leave you, and see you later.